Harrisburg Stampede. Justin Coble with
I
us.
gotta change the freaking.
Oh, there it is.
Basically, they were
It's
playing
Major
Major League with a real game. Yeah.
Oh, shit, there's the Hattie.
Welcome to episode 91 of the Another Sports Podcast. This is the home of sports talk for the average Joe. I'm Jason.
I'm David.
And welcome aboard. First off, I gotta say, next time you gotta start before me and just yell "Good morning" like you've been yelling at the end, because I kind of want that to happen.
What's that? When we were testing the audio, you just kind of like jumped out of your seat.
Yeah, I had my my computer audio up to 100. I had to turn it down to 80.
Oh, that's funny.
I want to just chime in here. Our good friend John the Bobble Bro, he reached out, said the show's been sounding really good. We sound a little fresher.
In the mornings, really?
Fresher
in the
because
mornings?
we're not dragging ass. And I want to give a congrats to him and his wife with the birth of their baby girl. I've been checking in on him, seeing how they're doing, and he's understanding. Those early days are a little tough.
the no sleep and everything else, you know. Oh, yeah, those days are fun.
But you know what? And I said to him, I said, it goes by so fast.
It does. It does. Soon they'll be crawling, and then soon they'll be talking back to you.
I got, Gianna's going into 7th grade, and she's in color guard for the marching band. I mean, it seems like yesterday she was in preschool. It doesn't seem like that was 7-8 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I always tell people I got the BOGO deal around Christmas.
You did. You really did.
Yep, buy one, get one.
But well, let's get this show rolling. Let's start off with a quick Olympics update, because one, I haven't freaking watched it, so I got nothing to talk about. And here's my issue with the Olympics.
It's the Olympics, and there's really no good sports in the spring or summer.
Well, I'm gonna get up on my soapbox here. There are sports I want to watch in the Olympics. There are. I'd like to watch judo. I like to watch the boxing. I don't watch a lot of professional basketball, but Olympic basketball, it's still got that. It's still somewhat special in my mind, going back to the original Dream Team in '92. Nike and Gatorade did a hell of a job marketing Olympic basketball in the '90s to our generation of kids. So there's, even though I could care less about basketball for the most part anymore, I still care about Olympic basketball. Good job, Nike and Gatorade. Okay. But those are the sports I'd like to, take a minute and watch. And unfortunately, they're not on at the time that I'm available to watch the Olympics. I think the last 3 nights, it's been swimming and gymnastics. And no offense to the swimmers or the gymnasts, they're very talented athletes. Look, you're not in the Olympics if you're not a talented athlete. So don't think I'm making fun of their athleticism or I'm talking shit on them. Those sports don't appeal to me. They appeal to someone, and that's why they're on at prime time. I get it. But
it's just like any other sport. I mean, some sports are more for others than any other sport. Like, some people can watch baseball on TV, some people can't. Some people can't stand basketball. Some people love basketball. So it's, any sports for any person. Some people love synchronized swimming. I don't know. Water polo. Soccer on water.
I just don't want people to think I'm talking shit on the athletes, because I know that these are very talented athletes who have worked very hard to get to where they are in being in the Olympics. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm just saying I can't watch gymnastics.
No, I can't either. I mean, like you said, I mean, if you get nominated for the Olympics, there's a reason why you're there. You're a hell of an athlete to be nominated for Olympics. You're a hell of an athlete to get that far. Just to be there to represent your country is an honor itself.
Right.
But yeah,
there's 200 some nations right now in the Olympics.
I mean, they always put certain, some sports you just can't watch
Well,
because,
and
well, it's on so late.
it's the same way with the Winter Olympics to some
Oh
degree.
yeah,
Like
it is. Oh, it's
the
just
the
well,
the
yeah,
prime time airings are going to be, figure skating and stuff like that because they appeal to a much wider demographic. I get it, but then don't complain because I know the complaints are going to come from NBC and all the other providers who cover it around the world that viewership was down. Well, you didn't appeal to everyone. You appealed to who you thought would get you the biggest audience, and that doesn't always work.
yeah. No, it doesn't. I mean, you're never going to satisfy everybody. That's just what it boils down to. You're
Well,
going to people
yes, that's
play,
very true.
and here's the thing: these sports companies, these companies like NBC, ABC, all these people who cover the Olympics, they're always going to play a gamble. Always going to play a gamble with this stuff because
Right.
what they think is going to be prime, what they think is going to go, couldn't be. It may not. It's just like sales. You may think, oh, this is going to be a great sale, and it turns out to be a dud. Same concept. So it's all just one big gamble. You're never going to satisfy
No, I
anybody
know,
with it.
I know that. I know that. It's just, and here's the thing, and this is something I think the uninitiated, because let's be honest, gymnastics and swimming and figure skating are geared towards an audience that don't always watch regular sports. They don't watch football or hockey or baseball or basketball or even soccer. They don't watch those sports. Um, but what's missing from some of those sports is the drama of watching a 3-0 comeback in the
Woo.
third period, or the drama of a late game drive that wins the game by, a field goal. There's or the drama of, a tied ninth inning with two outs, with one out left, and the home team has their best batter and a runner on third. There's the dramatic flair of team sports
Double
that
overtime for
can
the goal.
really, right, that can suck you in. And I think sometimes the broadcasters forget about that. Yes, are there going to be some blowout games from some
Oh my
because
God,
some
yes.
teams are just not at the level of, whether it be basketball or hockey, because those are, the two biggest team sports, I would say, for, well, I'm sure there's going to be a case made for soccer. So soccer, basketball, and hockey, those are the, biggest team sports in summer and winter Olympics. For the record, this was not a part of our planned discussion. It just went down this road.
Yeah,
Um,
we're just going down the rabbit hole on this one.
um, there's always going to be nations that are new, not so much new to these sports, but new to this sport at this level, and they are going to be outclassed by England, by Canada,
Oh my
by
God,
America.
yes. I mean,
You know,
throw a team that any team at this that barely has the sport and throw it in against a team that lives and dies by the sport that they act like it's a military, you know, program. Yeah, there's going to be some dominance. There's going to be a major blowout. That's why they call it a mercy rule.
but you have to get through those games to get to the marquee games where you get the powerhouses going against each other. And those are the games that should be on prime time because it'll draw people
Oh
in.
my God. Let's say for hockey, Canada, US. That's always going to be let the battle go, let the battle begin at this rate.
Right. But anyway, enough about the Olympics. Sorry about that. Well, I figured we're recording during the Olympics. We should give. Oh, I didn't even give the medal count, did I? Holy shit! I wrote it in there and didn't get into it. So the U.S. as of this recording has 9 gold medals, 18 silver medals, and 17 bronze medals. We are currently in 5th behind the UK, Australia, France, and China. There is still another week to go to the Olympics, so we'll see how it plays out next week. Yeah.
Olympics. Why
All
can't I root
right,
for the
new
winner now?
NFL rules. Um, I saw some clips of this, so I'm glad you kind of put it in the notes for the show. The new kickoff rule.
Yeah, I was watching
Uh,
the game on Thursday and seeing at the NFL level, I mean, it really didn't make a.
I get why it's being done. When over 70% of your kickoffs led to a touchback, that's not exciting to watch.
No, and the thing is, though, everybody's expecting it. So it's like, okay, kickoff, I'm gonna go grab a drink quick. By the time I get back, it'll be time for the first play. So it's like, again, everybody's expecting it.
Right. If this is meant to make the game more dynamic and to make kickoffs less assumptive that it's going to be a touchback, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. I have concerns, because I mean this is going to lead to explosive plays, but what does that mean then for player safety? I feel like this is a compromise. Don't get me wrong. Um, because you're not going to have guys waiting to catch the ball and getting clobbered, but you're not having guys also just taking a knee because they know they get that automatic 25 yards from the touchback. So I I don't know if I have too many issues with this. It's just it was first off, Joe Buck did not do a great job of describing it in the clip I watched.
Imagine that.
Oh, there's a new kickoff rule. Let's see how this plays out. Thanks, Joe. Glad you're getting paid those big bucks from ESPN to
Just to
tell
state
me
the
the
obvious.
obvious and not explain the background of it. John Madden got a lot of shit for stating the obvious, but he gave
Well,
you a
here
coach's
we are.
perspective too.
Well, here we are. Joe Buck, I guess, is taking that role now.
Yeah, but he
I
didn't
mean,
do it.
I,
Never
I mean,
mind.
I honestly have no issue with it if it makes the game more involved, like more exciting to watch from
Yeah.
start to finish. I have no issue with that because, like we said, everybody expects any type of kickoff to be automatic touchback.
Right.
Everybody expects it. Where this, okay, here we go. Let's play this out. See what happens. I mean, how many times have we seen this in the UFL? Or was it the UFL that started, or was it the USFL that started it? I'm trying to
Well,
remember.
it's all one thing now.
Yeah, no, but when did it start right when they merged?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, so
Either way.
I mean, we can go down this road. These upstart leagues have helped innovate the NFL. The XFL had the original XFL, XFL 1.0, McMahon version 1. Um, they were the first ones to introduce the Skycam. The NFL rejected it. They thought it wouldn't work. The XFL took it on in their only inaugural season in 2001. The next season, the NFL did sign on to a deal to do Skycam, and that worked for them for a long time. Now we got drones. You don't need Skycam. They dumbed themselves out of position. Um, but
Imagine that.
but
But here's the thing, though. Imagine that where the NFL thinks, oh, that's never going to work. And oh, look, here we are. They adopted whatever they said didn't work. How many times have we seen that?
a
Several.
lot, especially in the last 20 some years, where there's been a lot more upstart football leagues.
Well, the thing is, though, the NFL does not have, until now, the ability to see what may work and what may not work in the game itself. Look at,
It's almost like they need a minor league.
oh, darn, imagine that. Well, look, I mean, how many times have hockey and baseball implemented
Yeah.
rules start from the bottom and work their way up to eventually work their way up to the NHL?
It's
And
and,
look what
and here's
happened
the
then.
genius thing behind this.
And the NFL needs that right now to test these rules to make sure that okay, yep, this will work for the game. No, I don't think this will work too well. We've seen it. We've seen the problems here. No way to really fix the problem. So if you can collaborate back and forth like that, great. That means you have what it takes to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Here's a great example of this.
The NFL makes too much money and they think they're
When we
power
went
hungry.
down when we went down to Hagerstown in 2019, we didn't know at the time we were going to a doubleheader because we didn't follow the Hagerstown Suns, but we ended up going to a doubleheader, right?
Yeah,
And that was the first time I saw the second man, the runner on second for extra
extra
innings.
innings. Yeah, that was the first time I've seen it, and we both looked
I
at each
knew
other
they
like,
were
"What's
testing it,
this?"
but I hadn't seen it. Now, how many of those guys have since? Now, granted, it's a small percentage, but some of those guys have made their way from Hagerstown to Double A to Triple
Hmm.
A and to the show. That rule has followed them.
Oh yeah,
So by the time but by the time some of these rules are implemented, some of these players have only known the game professionally with some of these rules because that's all they've known in the minors on their way up. Yes, there's going to be adjustment for players who've never dealt with it, but there's also going to be players who know it very well.
and that
Um,
helps all around. That helps all around when everybody know. If you get players like you said, some players will, some players won't. That's a good mix because this way everybody can learn from each other. Hey, in this situation, I've seen this. Okay, good call. One of those types of things. But you know, I just feel that the NFL, who knows what they're going to do with this? I mean, they're probably going to keep it for sure now, but
I believe that it is an official rule for the upcoming season, so I don't see them not
well,
going with it.
yeah, going back from it, I should say.
Yeah, I
In
don't
all
see them
reality,
walking it back. I don't think it's going to make a big impact on the game overall. It's not going to change the viewer experience. It's going to change the player's experience, but it's going to make the game more dynamic, and you need that, because you're
I'm just
right.
tired of the touchbacks. I'm just tired of
The,
like,
the the
okay, I'm gonna
kickoff
grab a drink.
is, yeah, it's time to go get some chips, go get a drink, um, get yourself a Pepsi or a Coke, or get yourself a Jack and Coke, or whatever your libation is that moment in time. That's what you're doing. You're not paying attention to it because you know it's going to be a touchback. They're fixing that, so they're keeping the viewer in mind, and that's not always a bad thing too.
The NFL keeping the viewers in mind, and not about money.
I don't think this costs them any money. It might make them more money for all we know. Um,
The NFL, they make so much money, it's ridiculous to even think
hey,
of
they're finally
just.
paying taxes on that money, so they are no longer a tax-free investment in America.
There you go.
Says the tax man. Anyway, it's not a tax I deal with, so I don't care. Um, I
It's
don't really
funny.
know if I have anything else about this.
Nah, I'm good with
I don't
this
even know
rule.
how deep are we into this recording here.
Uh, I think we're almost at 19 minutes, 18 minutes, give or take.
That's not a bad first half with our Olympic discussion and so on.
No,
I'm good to
I'm
call it.
yeah, I'm good to call it. So then that'd be the end of the first. We'll be right back.